Game 6 between the Bucks and Nets was an interesting clash of styles and strategies. And the important thing for Milwaukee is that they had their home fans behind them, showed some toughness, and they're still alive in the series. Despite never having control of this game, the Nets might not be too concerned, and with a couple of tweaks and minor adjustments, should feel pretty good about hosting Game 7. There are two main components to this game I'd like to focus on: the Nets' three-point shooting and the resurgence of Khris Middleton. Here's an interesting stat that illustrates the biggest difference between the Nets' wins and losses in this series. While I thought it would be rare to see a team have such a huge difference in attempts between wins and losses, it turns out the Hawks in their series with the Sixers have an even bigger disparity. And it should be noted that each win for the Nets has been at home, where Game 7 will take place. But why did they take so few threes in Game 6? We need only look at the third quarter, where they took a mere 3 shots from behind the arc. They instantly catch Jrue Holiday in early help position 1 pass away, and had Harden gotten to the spot quicker and the pass been on target, this would have been a 3, where Harden shot 50% last night. Next, Jeff Green sets a step-up screen and rolls, forcing Brook Lopez to rotate over. They have a 2-on-1 on the weak side, and this should have been the pass. And if Middleton closed out quick, he's got one more to Joe Harris for a wide-open corner 3. Instead, it's a bad miss at the rim. Here's another example where KD wanted to attack Giannis, lured Jrue into full help 1 pass away, and an easy pass to the corner would have been a wide-open 3 for Harden. I don't blame Blake for not pulling here, despite the sack from Lopez, which was curious considering Blake is at 39% from back there and almost 5 attempts per game. But on the pass back, this should have been a shot without question. And when he hands off to Landry Shamet, check how Connaughton goes underneath. This could have been a shot too. Now the clock winds down. This had the Harden step back written all over it, but instead he jumps in the air and throws it away. On this ball screen to flare cut from Harris, normally the ball is delivered quicker and Harris is straight pulling this before Giannis gets there. Instead, it's an off-foot runner and Lopez puts the shot out of its misery. Remember, the Bucks defense is notorious for being awful at guarding the three-point line. When you examine the quality of looks the Nets did generate in this game, but didn't hit, it wouldn't be hard to imagine Steve Nash and the Net coaching staff shrugging and saying, "These are some damn good shots." I gotta hand it to the Bucks for being consistent. Their overhelp on drives and penetration to stop shots in the lane has led to tons of wide-open threes, and I have no doubt they're going to roll the dice in Game 7 and take their chances with these shots again. The one thing they have going for them is that the pressure of a Game 7 can be overwhelming to shooters, and to overcome that, you need mental toughness. Guys like Kevin Durant don't seem to be fazed by any external pressures. And it's something I've been trying to master by listening to this audiobook about mental toughness on Blinkist. Blinkist takes top nonfiction titles and puts them into 15-minute text and audio explainers called Blinks. If you're running the pick and roll, you don't have time to waste. And with Blinkist, you can absorb so much more information with over thousands of titles in 27 categories. Plus, they've teamed up with popular podcast creators to blink those for you too, so you can get to the heart of a podcast episode fast. The first 100 people to go to Blinkist.com/BBALLBREAKDOWN get unlimited access for 1 week to try it out. You'll also get 25% off if you want the full membership. I'm listening to When the Game Was Ours, about Magic and Bird going at each other. So check out Blinkist, and you'll be saving time like the Bucks did by pushing the pace by scoring a series-high 26 fast break points in Game 6. This was a huge anomaly for them, considering they had only averaged 10.4 transition points through the first 5 games. And Khris Middleton had himself a big game with a team-high 38 points on 11 of 16 shooting by utilizing the break on a couple of his baskets. Joe Harris is in position to pick him up, but runs to the ball despite Jeff Green already being there, then helps 1 pass away again on Giannis, leaving Middleton wide open to snipe from the outside. On this break, despite Joe Harris pointing Middleton out, that should have told him he's got to pick Middleton up. Now he's late closing out, and Middleton does a great job to get to the open space and hit the easy 15-footer on the baseline. The thing about the Bucks offense in this game was that they just didn't run much of anything. They try and space the floor well, open up the basket area, and let their guys attack. A simple bound step to create contact allows Middleton to then step back into an open 12-footer. Also notice how he utilizes the drag of the right foot to maintain balance on that first step. Nothing in the rulebook prevents you from dragging that foot after planting the gather step in front. Again, not much movement at all, just a spread floor with Giannis standing there to screen. Joe Harris takes a terrible angle to contest, slams into Middleton's body, and he hits the shot for the first of his 2 4-point plays. One reason the offense gets so stagnant is the Giannis sag by Blake. It lures them into multi-dribble ISOs a lot. But why the heck is Harden in this position? They want Giannis to take this jumper, and instead he smartly whips the ball out to Middleton for a lick my thumb and check the wind I'm so wide open practice shot. It wasn't hard to force a switch of Landry Shamet onto Middleton, who doesn't have much hope of contesting this nice post move into a miss, considering he's giving up 5 or 6 inches in height. And on the reset, he gets Shamet on him again. This time the Nets offer zero support as Middleton backs down, and watch how he loads on the right foot to push off into the middle of the lane, then must rotate significantly in the air to get his shooting hip and elbow aligned to the rim, easily releasing it over the contest for another bucket. If you're wondering why I don't go through Giannis' shots, after all he did score 30, well, 5 of them came in transition as a tonic to the continued sagging of the Nets defense. A great solution that makes you wonder why this wasn't the focus through the first 5 games. And the others are just not that interesting to go through. Isolations where the defense is giving him plenty of room to dare him to shoot. There was one score I did like. One of my favorite plays is the fake handoff and nice use of the left-hand dribble and finish to get another bucket to extend the lead early in the third. I do want to finally say something about his ridiculous free throw routine. I know the referees have waved off a couple of free throws during the playoffs for taking more than the allotted 10 seconds to shoot the ball after receiving it. But they allowed him to do it last night anyway. And now I am dumbfounded that the ref's solution is to let him take over 23 seconds to get settled and do his routine before handing him the ball. I mean, he's shooting under 46% on almost 8 a game. This whole routine isn't working. There's already issues with his mechanics and how the arm swing and leg extension aren't timed properly. No amount of practicing this will help in the slightest. In fact, it probably makes it worse from the mental aspect, and you can bet people will be counting this out in Brooklyn. And Steve Nash would be wise to implement a hack of Giannis early and often throughout Game 7. So here we are, facing an epic Game 7, and we just don't know how some of these guys will react to the pressure. But I wouldn't be sleeping that well if my team routinely gave up so many open threes. And if the Nets can get back better in transition to stop the Bucks from getting so many easy shots, then I don't see how they lose this game, earning a well-deserved and hard-fought trip to the Eastern Conference Finals.